And every time I press the record button, OBS freezes. I can tell it freezes because the little green, yellow, red lines that tell me that it's measuring audio stop. They freeze. And I'm like, is this all going to crash? No, it's not Crash. I'm Crash. Hello, I'll be your DM for the evening. Welcome to Cause and Effect. This is the Homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting. Tonight is episode 4, Lost in the Static. Joining me are a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, Matt, and Tom. And what happened last time?
We are doing a dungeon crawl.
No, the ceiling's high enough. You don't need to be crawling.
Look, I went under. We had to crawl through a tunnel to get here, and also I went under. Scroll in so I get the correct pronunciation. Morland's legs to get past him. So it was a crawl.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You have to, otherwise I'd take it. Because I'm a rogue.
You are a rogue, yes. And if I recall, this is a quest that was thrown at you by Mo in a moment of frustration. Mo is not happy at all to have someone who considers him a patron. He prefers to be a patron of the arts, and Cavil is, let's face it, a bard, and therefore an artist, but that's not what Mo meant.
Tough luck.
That is not at all what Mo meant.
Mo quest, mo money.
In the heat of the moment... Wait, no.
Oh, I'm muted. It may not be what he meant, but it is what he has.
Let's keep moving while we have momentum.
I am going to really enjoy Mo puns during this campaign. I am sure that there'll just be Mo of them.
Mo and Mo of them.
And that wasn't even a very good one.
Oh.
I think you're just making a mountain out of a molehill.
Dang it, inspiration.
I already have it, but thank you anyway.
Then like water off of an otter's back, you
Yes.
get nothing.
All right, I'll shut up now.
Or, based on episode 1, like blood. Torrents of blood off of an otter's back.
I'll take another skull cap, though.
It was a transporter accident.
It kind of was. Actually, I got the inspiration from a Doctor Who episode. Only there was a lot less gore. So, you've been sent on a quest that took you in a direction where you could probably, maybe, if the DM let you, find a back door into the underground complex where the Singing Monolith is. Because the second part of your 2-part quest of being sent back in time to prevent the apocalypse was to destroy this ancient and incredibly valuable artifact.
I mean, it's a shame, but also, so is having the universe alternately killed or stuffed into stasis.
Pretty much, yes. And you don't know if you found the back door to Singing Monolith, but you did find a chamber with a green circle. You spent all of your time arguing before getting to the green circle, so you had no time to argue around the green circle, as in a previous campaign. Took a machine suit of armor. It had a very biological-like scream coming from it at the time, and killed it a lot, then tossed it through the green circle, then went down a long passageway. There was a moment where Tex did the best she could do to knock a door open. Imagine, if you will, the door labeled pull, and Tex pushed as hard as possible, magically augmented by 2 different party members.
Bong!
Pretty much. And then you pressed the button and the door opened. And after a very long tunnel, you found a room that was full of all kinds of machinery, a kind of nope-like being. Imagine, if you will, that a nope and a Kenku love each other very much.
Ew.
Yes. This is kind of what it looks like. And as soon as you opened the door into this room, you all heard is the wrong word. It's in your heads. A sort of overwhelming static. And by overwhelming, I mean you're all going to have to make a saving throw. And let's see.
My ears are...
It is a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw. So go ahead and give it a shot.
I don't like that number.
Mm.
I like yours less.
What were we talking about earlier about how wisdom is one of your highest stats?
You got it. That's the first wisdom roll I've made.
Oh, what's my wisdom?
Oh, Tex got a 15. Tex passes.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody's going to not fall over
Oh, no one's falling over yet.
yet.
Well, somebody fell over. It was whatever that monstrosity was in the first chamber, and parts of them are being pulled out by Thing 2 as you enter the room.
Oh, I
Well-
don't think Lieutenant... I do not think the good Lieutenant is online.
Ah, yes. For those listening at home, Ellie made a dice rolling bot named Lieutenant Cogbucket, and they are wonderful, even if they can be used to hit people with fish. That is a feature, not a bug.
It's a fisher.
Is it one of those undocumented product enhancements?
It may even be documented.
You'll have to ask Ellie. It doesn't count as documented if it's got notations in the code.
I want to spend my inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I have inspiration. Maybe I should spend mine.
You can if you want.
No, I already rolled
16!
Okay, a 16 means that you have successfully made your wisdom throw this
I'd
turn.
like to spend my inspiration as
turn.
well, please.
You may all spend your inspiration. That's why I hand it out.
Ooh, 22.
Congratulations. You
Thank
just
you.
hear the static. You think that
Yay.
someone should adjust the dial so you can hear an actual radio station, but that's the worst of it.
I got the same roll. I hate that. Okay. Well, I have no
You
inspiration
can
now.
take the
I'm
higher of the two
uninspired.
rates.
I think I'll take the first 8. It seems like it's got a bit more, aging and, it's like a fine wine.
Savoir faire.
Well, this is why I had you all make this saving throw before you roll for initiative, because I made it very obvious last session that you were going to be starting this game in combat. If you failed the save, every d20 roll you make is at disadvantage
Ugh.
for as long
I am
as you hear
so
the static in
glad.
your head.
I spent my inspiration.
So, at this point, please roll for initiative, and if you failed your save, make sure that you right-click on the little initiative thing to pick disadvantage.
17.
Cool.
The DC on that wisdom save was 15.
14.
Oh, good for Piffle.
okay, good.
Frigga
I missed.
Piffle. Piffin. Piff. That's
Why
pathetic.
are you
Dear.
swearing in...
Oompa Loompa.
Fraggle. I'm swearing in Fraggle. There was a cartoon when Hoppy was little. The moving illusion box had this thing with little things called Fraggles, obviously.
I was going to say
QED.
pixie, but I forgot the word pixie.
That too. I mean, they're sort of like pixies anyway, really. But they're not on Discworld and they're not blue, so they're not pixies.
Indeed. Those swear much more, enthusiastically.
Well, it's not quite. Yes.
Don't make me have a Macnac Feagle be part of the Flag Guild.
Why
But that
not?
would be great.
That'd be fantastic, actually. I might just do that.
I mean, we do have...
whole-
There is a Discworld parody.
There is a Discworld
You did-
parody world in this campaign
Yes.
setting, yes. Anyway, I have hit the start button, and Morlin, you are going first. This room is full of machinery. There is a Tex in front of you, and right on the other side of Tex, there is a Thing 2.
All right.
Thing 1 was the previous thing you fought.
I think we're going to start off, since we don't really know what's going on here. We're going to start off with a bless. And we're going to
Okay, bless Thing 2.
No.
Sure?
I mean, you can always say just bless your heart.
Yeah.
No, that's a curse.
I'm not Southern. Yeah, I'm not Southern.
Yeah, he ain't Southern. I don't work for him. So.
I'll use another phrase that translates into for us Yankees. The question is, who do I give it to? Let me just move my... I can give it to 3 people.
Give it to the people
Yeah.
who made their proper
Initiatives.
roles. Yeah,
So that's not you, right?
not me.
Well, you are
All right.
Give it to
already
the other
within
3
5 feet
people.
of the murder otter.
We'll give it to Tex, Cable, and Stonebrook.
All
Oh,
right.
what am I getting?
Bless.
Blessed.
Oh, wonderful. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you cast Bless on the Tiefling Warlock. It stings Cavil just a teeny little bit, but not enough to be a game mechanics thing.
Yeah.
You know you've been blessed. It's fizzy.
Actually,
Just
to be
a little
fair,
bit spicy.
To be fair, Ogma is a neutral deity, so it wouldn't sting.
Yeah.
It might be spicy.
Ogma has worked with Asmodeus before. They're not friends, but they're casual acquaintances.
But this isn't an Asmodeus tiefling. This is a Mo tiefling. Well, the warlock part is.
Yes, but Asmodeus doesn't exist in the future. Mo took over.
Right.
Which is another thing that Mo really doesn't like. Okay, Marlene, is there anything else you do?
I don't know what else. I don't think so. I think we'll just stay put for the moment because I don't know what else is going to happen in this room.
Okay.
I'm usually Team Cleric go last, so yeah. I'm not that kind
you
of.
got a 21.
Yeah, I know. Which is like, wait, I beat the rogue. I beat both rogues. Wait, what
I
happened?
gave you the opportunity to roll at disadvantage for initiative, but no.
Yeah, no.
Now you have to go before Stonebrook. By the way, Stonebrook, it's your turn.
I was going to actually maybe defer to Tex. Seemed to work pretty good last time, so I may hold my turn.
Tex had to do an action surge to do that, though.
Text
the urge to-
action search.
I think I'm just going to wait.
Okay. Next up is Thing 1. Thing 1 is currently in pieces and being somewhat freeze-dried.
Ooh.
Yes. Next up is the machinery in the room. Well, not
I'm
all
concerned.
the machinery. Bits and pieces break off of all the machinery in the room and sort of coagulate is a word that comes to mind. And immediately, none of you likes that the word came to mind.
No.
Well, that's not entirely true. Some of you might appreciate it. Some of you might think, wow, that's kind of neat. I'd like to study this. Anyway, little bits are swarming around and they go after Tex. Because why wouldn't they, apparently?
I guess they're upset that Tex is not on their side.
Join us, join us. They don't actually say that. That is a 10 to hit. I have a feeling that does not hit Tex.
That does not hit Tex.
Okay.
Ping, ping, ping. Pings off Tex's ankles.
Cavil.
Yes. Who failed the save?
Me. So I probably have my ears back and I'm clutching my head going, ag.
Well, I believe in you anyway. Go get him. I use my bonus action to give Hobby an inspiration.
Aww.
And I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20 over here. And I would like to throw an Eldritch Blast at Thing 2.
Thing 2 doesn't like that. Well, actually, you're not entirely sure.
And
that's an 11.
1d4. I think Bless is 1d4 bonus. Morlin?
It depends on your level, I think. But, Matt, what's the bonus for Bless?
Can you hear me?
Now.
Okay. It's 1d4. Sorry, I must have
Okay.
muted. And it does not scale by level. It's just a straight 1d4.
Okay, fun fact, a 13 hits.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm not going to say you were incredibly high over the number needed, but it does hit.
Useful.
And that is 5 force damage.
Okay.
Because that 1d10 did not hold up its job.
You had one job.
And rolled a 1.
And at this point, it would be totally on brand for Cavil to be thinking that this is just part of the whole being leveled down thing when you went into the past. Because this is your first Eldritch Blast is going back into the past, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh, no, I don't think my first. I think I used it on the
that's
other
right.
thing, yes.
You're right.
I am still so sad that I only get 1.
For now.
My Eldritch Blast privileges have been reduced.
Yeah, not quite revoked. Your phenomenal cosmic powers have been revoked. Temporarily. You can earn them back with bad behavior. I mean, wait. Actually, no, that tracks. There's a swarm of tiny little murder bots trying to bite at your ankles, and there's a nope that's broadcasting the dark static from between the stations.
Am I remembering correctly that this room is basically surrounded by machinery? Or is it just the blue thing?
The blue thing that you see is a door. There's machinery everywhere else that I couldn't be bothered to add in as props because this is the second time I've made this map, and the first time it was very detailed, and then there was a crash, not me, and everything was lost.
Gotcha.
So I'm just pretending that the machines are just wherever you aren't.
Tex is going to amble over to the machines over here
Okay.
and take a...
Evoke an attack of opportunity from the murder bots.
Okay. They did so well last time.
Yes. That is a 22.
That'll hit.
Okay. That is some very low rolls. That is 9 points of piercing damage.
It's still uncomfortable.
How rude of them.
Root of them, Tex is the one who left. They didn't abandon Tex. Just saying. Anyway, Tex, what else do you do?
I say, this is fascinating. Stonebrook.
And on cue, I'd like to rush in and stab at the... is it thing 2?
Yeah.
Okay. They are here. Alrighty. Is a 19 hit?
Yes.
Alrighty.
And you add 1d8 to your damage.
Okay, so that was a 6, and then...
Okay, so the 6 damage I'm entering now.
And another 4.
And another 4.
And then... Do I get to use sneak attack as my...
You do, because I'm within 5 feet.
Yep. So... Oh, wait, hold on. And 5.
Okay. It's bloodied.
So he probably just jumped at it and like tried to hit it like in the chest or something.
In my head canon, it's something like you jumped up and now it's sort of like going around in circles while you're on its back going stabby, stabbity, stabbity, stabbity. And it's trying to reach back and grab at you, but you're right at the small of its back so it can't reach you.
That's even better.
It's reaching for its back scratcher. It left it around here somewhere. Oh, wait, half of the back scratcher turned into murder bots. It's useless. Wait, there's 2 levers over there. If it pulls the wrong lever, then you go into the alligator pit.
Why do they even have that lever?
So you go in the alligator pit. That's why. Okay, let's see.
But there aren't even lizard folk here.
So far as you know. Look, all I'm saying is you haven't seen any lizard folk.
They might be in the river.
And rolling well on stealth.
Very
So-
well on stealth.
When I made this encounter table in D&D Beyond, I didn't know the full composition that the party would be, so I threw in a bunch of things in here, including stats for a kobold, because maybe A would be going with you, I didn't know.
Of course not. That would be
appreciate-
dangerous.
I appreciate that even with only 1 kobold included in the encounter, they still put the letter A after the kobold that I added.
Aww.
So
Well, that's
at this
their
point-
name.
At this point, somewhere in an undisclosed location, A is doing a thing.
Oh.
It possibly could be murder.
I mean,
Well,
does
how
A
else
have
are
enough
they going
levels for
to
murder?
How,
They-
how is
Leveled
that-
up?
how else are they going to get their first class level?
They could be murdering a Cinnabon. Who knows?
Perfect.
Yes, well, not so perfect for the Cinnabon employees. I didn't say they were murdering a cinnamon bun.
Oh.
A Cinnabon.
Yeah, well, somehow I don't think that A has the levels to deal with like even a level 1 retail employee.
Most NPCs are level 0. A is CR 1/4. Anyway, Hobby.
But this divide by 0. Hobby is trying to figure out if all of the little machinery things over there can be attacked.
I mean, quite possibly. You have broken many things, I am sure.
Yes,
Over
but are they
your
on a
adventures.
shelf? Are they on a shelf?
Some of them were on a shelf, but now they're moving.
That is just wrong. And also, wow, look at all those moving things. You just got to go in there and slap those suckers. Spring into action. I don't suppose they're distracted enough by having gone after Tex to count as sneaky attacks.
They're within 5 feet of Tech.
I'm not a-
The swarm bots are within 5 feet of Stonebrook, but Tex has gone out of range.
Oh, right.
I'm just wondering if I could get any kind of sneak attack on them. Probably not.
You don't have pack tactics, but
I don't
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure that rogues get sneak attack when they flank. They just don't get advantage when they flank unless they also have pack tactics.
Right.
And during this turn, they were actively engaging Tex. Well, attempting to engage Tex. Tex has said, it's not you, it's me. I don't want to turn into murder bots. Technically, I already am a murder bot.
Does not want to turn to smaller murder bots. Anyway, do I get to do any of that fancy backstabby stuff?
Well, let's see if you hit first.
That's true.
Roll a disadvantage, but then add 1d4.
Okay. Disadvantage and roll. I hate these rolls. These are bad rolls. The dice hate me.
Well, you also have static in your brain.
The dice, both dice hate me. Look at this. Both dice hate me here.
Remember, you
I
have.
can tell you, an 8 plus 4 would not be enough to hit these.
I don't
Wait,
think I'm going
Hobby
to.
has bless?
No, Hobby does not because Beth
Right.
said not to because of the disadvantage. It wasn't going to be all that
that's
helpful.
True, but Hobby has Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, well, that
How
they
much is
have,
Bardic
yes.
Inspiration?
1d6.
Okay, so what does Bardic?
1d6.
Okay, 1d6.
Okay, well, roll the 1d6. Let's see what that is. You do not hit the murder bots.
I didn't think I did. Meow! Miss. It's like the cat who has the laser pointer that's zipping around, and the cat is going smack, 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 and hits nothing
Pretty much.
because the dot flees.
I mean, it is the GIF that I shared.
Let's see. I was staring at me. Yep, that.
Okay.
It's that.
Okay, now it's the Nope's turn. Thing 2. What are they going to do?
Probably scream more.
Well, if they're screaming, it's that static you're all hearing right now. It is going to make 2 attacks. It grabs what looks like a lever on one of the machines nearby, pulls, and apparently the lever was actually a sword?
Now it's armed.
Yeah, well, it already had 2 arms.
Oh,
Now one of them is
sorry.
a weapon.
Guys, bad news. We're fighting the Rightwise King of Machineland.
Oh well.
Pretty much. Just be glad I didn't give it a lightsaber in-game mechanics. Only in Owlbear Rodeo.
Concerning.
Hey, I figured out how to add props. Okay, the first roll is a 10. That does nothing to Tex. For some reason, it's choosing not to try to hit Stonebrook because it might hit itself, I guess. I don't know. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Probably wise.
And then the second roll is a 14.
14 also misses.
Okay.
Tex is just standing there looking at it going, this is what you're doing now.
Clang,
Okay.
clink, clang, clang, clang. Dip, dip, dip. Make very musical noises, Tex, I'm sure.
Next up are some beings that could be in play, but not that you're aware of.
Concerning.
And that is the end of the round. So, at the start of this round, everyone who has not already failed a wisdom saving throw, please make a wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
Ooh,
Oh.
If you've already failed, you don't need to roll again.
what
So
if
we
I
must
want
roll
to roll?
again. I thought you said that. The way you said that, it sounded like I thought Hobby was the only one who had to roll.
No, Hobby's the only one who doesn't have to roll.
Because
Hobby
they
would
had
like
failed.
to roll? Hobby would like to have a chance to succeed? No? No.
No.
It'd probably be at disadvantage even if you let me do it.
There is a condition that allows you, not condition is the wrong word. There is a game mechanic that lets you stop rolling at disadvantage, but you haven't activated it, and the DM isn't telling you what it is.
Probably hitting thing 2 until thing 2 stops making static.
That is possibly one of the things you can do. It fits into the overarching requirement that is in this thing's stats.
Isn't that the rogue's job to stab things until they die and then stop stabbing them?
Working on it.
What's
Working
that
on
stop stabbing them part?
I said after it dies, because it's kind of pointless to stab corpses.
Depends. I mean, if they're a pinata, there could be loot in there.
True. This thing.
This
doesn't
is how
look
you
like
make a skull
pinata.
cap.
Oh, fair. Okay.
You can't always teleport. Not everyone has teleportation properties. Check your privilege. All right. So with that said, everyone who failed to save is rolling all their d20 rolls at disadvantage. Morlin, you're up.
I'm concentrating on Bless, so we want to keep that up and running. I'm going to move over here. 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're going to cross the room, and then we're going to try a Ray of Frost on the murder bots, or swarm bots, or whatever they are in the middle of the room there.
Okay.
The itty bitty murder bots.
That is a 13 to hit the murder bots.
A
Does that
13
hit?
misses.
Misses. Okay. I did not bless myself because that sounds blasphemous. And
What if
so
you
we will.
sneezed?
Well, then I
Gesundheit.
guess somebody has to bless me. I can't bless myself.
Stonebrook, take a level in cleric.
The name
Working
of
on
the
it.
twice God, you are blessed for you don't get sick.
You're going to stab a level of cleric out of thing too.
I moved. I cast a cantrip. I am concentrating on my spell, so I am done.
Okay. Stonebrook.
Alrighty. So it's a disadvantage, so I have to roll twice, and I take the lower one, correct?
Yes, if you right click on the button that lets you roll, you should just be able to pick disadvantage.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's a new feature.
It's useful.
I found the
Got it.
control key also does that.
Ooh.
If I'm hovering over it, the
Today
roll
I
button.
learned.
If I hold control, it turns it to a. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Well, at least on my end, it shows me a big minus.
Okay.
And then if I
So
use shift, it gives me a plus.
Okay, but
I-
unfortunately,
You're rolling short bow?
an 8
Oh.
is not going to do it.
I rolled the wrong thing anyway. So I meant to
It's
do
the same
short
hit?
sword, but it's the same to hit. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
alrighty.
Okay.
Then otherwise, he's going to try to just hang on for dear life.
Okay. I'm actually going to move your character so it's like there.
Okay.
Tom, you have bless. I don't know if that will help here.
It will not.
Okay.
He can add it, but he
It
missed
won't.
by enough.
Even if you
Actually,
roll, yeah.
the lower of the
Right.
two was a 1, wasn't it? Or no?
No, it was.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
3.
It
was a
cropped it off.
3.
I saw 8 and a 1, or 3 and 1 or something, but
Yeah.
it wasn't
Not
showing
enough.
your bonuses.
Okay. I know
6 to 1
something
happens
wasn't
with
very hard
another.
to hit. Yeah, I knew it wasn't hard to hit, but I didn't know what it was. So, okay, never mind.
Yes, this thing two's difficulty is not that it has a high AC, it's that it makes you roll lower.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is time for Murderbots.
Sigh.
They decide that
Hi.
the best defense is a good offense.
Yep.
So they are going to move 5 feet. Congratulations,
Do I
they're
get it?
occupying the same space as you. Hobby.
Okay, if they moved, does that give me an attack of opportunity?
Only if they move away from you.
Curses!
Okay, so that's a 9.
I have armor class 15 on my character sheet here.
So
A 9 does not hit you.
nope.
That's
but
what I
they're
thought.
crawling all over your clothing.
If they get into my underwear, it's really hard to dodge.
You're not entirely sure.
At least
You're-
they
Yeah,
don't
thank
know
you.
numinous corpus acid.
Oh, that's truth. That's the truth. They cannot possess my underwear.
There's a reference to a campaign that I have not played in there.
Indeed. It was a long time ago. You cannot dodge your underwear.
In any case, you're not entirely sure that they've stayed out of your mouth, but you get the feeling that at least one of them has tried to crawl into your mouth. And
Crunch.
there's definitely one that's like halfway into one of your ears.
There's a lot of clenched teeth hissing and doing the dance of ants.
But they're not yet in your pants.
There's still going to be the dance of ants and slapping and whatnot. Oh well.
Okay. So while we have interpretive dance being performed by Hobby, Cavil, what are you doing?
Okay, so Cavil reels. You are horribly out of tune. Do you know that? Do you know how out of tune you are? I'm going to make it worse. Cavil raises their microphone and they're going to cast Bane on the Swarmbots and Thing 2, and for good measure, randomly at the machinery in case the machinery is a creature. I can cast it at 3 things and
Okay. So, of course, I, the DM, am all-knowing and therefore know everything about Bane, but please refresh everyone else.
well, I am not making any rolls. They are making rolls. They are making DC 14 charisma saving throws.
You know that Murderbots are very charismatic.
No, these are not charismatic swarm bots. They are trying to get into my ear.
That's a 13 for the Murderbots.
Oh.
14, DC 14.
Oh, okay. Roll over, not under.
And a 10 for Thing 2.
So, whenever the murder bots or thing 2 make an attack roll or a saving throw, they're going to have to roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
How do you like it?
Exactly!
Also, for the record, the random machinery rolled an 11.
Fail.
The random machinery awakens and gains sentience, only to regret everything. What is my purpose? You exist
To
pass me the butter.
regret.
And what's my range on Bardic Inspiration again? 60 feet. Excellent. Tex, smash that thing.
Tex, smash.
I love you and your hammer, please.
Hammer time. Tex, it's your turn.
Well, first, I'm going to use my anti-murder bots.
Second wind.
Second wind gives me 8 hit points back.
It's useful.
And then, yeah, I'm going to take my hammer out, and I'm going to hit it. Will a 14 hit?
A 14 will hit thing 2.
Excellent.
And can I just say, it is really hard for me to resist calling thing 2 by what its stats actually say its name is.
I guess you should write nope on it or something.
That's 18 damage, and the next attack roll against it has advantage.
Well, the next attack roll against it is going to be an insta-hit, because how do you want to do this?
Would I have done it with 13 damage?
You would not have done it with 13 damage.
Okay. Then I am going to, like, splitting logs.
Squish.
Okay. So you don't go all the way through, but you go most of the way through the torso.
Ew.
The head is a bit more resilient, but it does crumple on the way down. And for the briefest of moments, you see Stonebrook positioned in right behind the hole you have carved, temporarily holding the two halves together.
Sternberg is going to give a big, wide grin.
Might be a skull cap in there if you want it.
Stonebrook is again covered in blood,
Good thing you're
but
not.
it's not Stonebrook.
Rolls right off.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure it's blood. It's got a viscosity to it, and it's a liquid, and it was inside thing 2, but it's not red.
Quaker State?
Kind of, sorta, maybe, but it's got a sheen like it's oil, but it doesn't give you the sense that it's mechanical.
Not tasting it. So
It doesn't have a good smell, but it doesn't have an oily smell.
Sternberg's going to leap down now, lest this thing completely fall apart more.
Okay, I'm going to count that as a free action because we're still in combat thanks to Murderbots.
Tex, I love you and your hammer.
And thing 2 remains standing for a good 2 seconds after Stonebrook leaps down. It's up to Stonebrook whether or not he turns to look at thing 2 when thing 2 collapses, or just not even bother to look in that direction and just let it fall while putting on sunglasses.
Cool otters don't look at explosions.
It doesn't explode. That would be bad. Actually, there's a lot of bad in here. That would be worse. Okay, next up is A, who is still doing that thing. It takes a while. A is concentrating while sticking their tongue out of the side of their mouth and biting on it slightly.
Perhaps they're
that
doing
allows them to think
crochet or macrame.
I seem to have tied all of my fingers together. I don't really know how I did this. Also, one of my toes is in there. That's okay. I'll get it loose by using the other foot.
Uh-oh.
That's stuck too now. That's okay. I'll just bite it off.
No.
My teeth are stuck. My teeth are stuck.
We'll have to go back and rescue A later.
Somewhere in a
quest
random dark
appears
room, there is a
on the
hog-tied
link.
kobold.
A new quest appears on the log. Rescue kobold from macrame.
You got your inspiration back.
Is
By
it
the way,
repeatable?
unfortunately, probably. A is not the brightest of kobolds.
Poor A.
Also, by the way, none of this is canon yet.
Aw. Yeah.
Yet. Give me a moment. It might end up being. In any case, Hobby, you are currently covered in Murderbots. What would you like to do?
Stop, drop, and roll.
It's a bold move. Let's see if it plays out.
would like to basically drop down and roll and get rid of all of and try to leave these murder bots behind, or at least squish some of them underneath my little feline butt.
Okay, give
Am I
me
allowed
an
to say
unarmed
that on-
attack roll.
Okay, at disadvantage, I assume.
Well, yes, because actually no. As soon as thing 2 went down, the static disappeared.
Oh, can I keep the high one then?
What was the high one?
15?
15 hits.
Yay!
Okay. Now,
But
I don't remember if there's special stats for the claws.
There are, in fact, special stats for the claws, and I have disengage as an option. What does disengage even do?
It means you can move over 5 feet away if you use disengage, and they don't get an attack of opportunity.
I am going to hit things with my claws, and can I disengage after, or do I have to do it before?
You can attempt it.
Okay, so can I hit the claws and then disengage?
Yes. Well,
Okay,
as a rogue, I think you can just disengage as a bonus action at 3rd level.
okay,
She's not a 3rd level rogue.
correct.
I don't know
I'm a
what
second
level you
level
get
rogue.
disengage as a bonus action.
It claims it's an act. Let's see, bonus action. I do not have a bonus action. I have 2 weapon fighting. All right, I'll just stop, drop, roll, and squish these suckers.
You always get a bonus action every round. It's just that you can use your bonus action for
cutting
the second
action.
weapon.
Yeah, cutting action. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns to take the dash, disengage, or hide action.
There we go. That's what we're talking about.
Okay,
roll
so
your damage for your claw attack.
okay, if I have 2 weapon fighting, do I get 2 rolls on the claw?
You have to roll each time for each, but we're just doing the first roll right now. Roll your damage.
I did. It should be there.
I didn't see it. It was
Claws, damage.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, but I don't have the game log pinned open because then it blocks other important things in the combat tracker. So
Oh, true. Okay.
it
right,
appeared
so-
when I was looking at something else.
So I will use my claws to scratch these little buggers off of me again.
Okay. You scratch some of them. There is a satisfying crunch as you pull the one out of your ear.
Excellent. Does a 14 get them?
A 14 will also hit.
Okay, and ooh, that looks
And that's another 5 damage.
another 5. And now
So-
I would like to use my stop, drop, roll to roll away as a disengage.
Okay, but your second attack was your
Does it?
bonus action.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, we'll just crunch those suckers then.
But you did 10
I will
points of
s-
damage to them.
Yep.
I would say they didn't like that, but they're unfeeling, uncaring murder bots. So, but there's fewer
Are
of
there?
them.
That's a good one.
Yeah. At every point of damage you're doing is breaking at least one of them.
Good. Okay, that's 10 of those little things.
Behold the power of
We'll
dance.
There will be probably more of the roll and whatnot. It's more like break dance, probably, to contort and writhe and kick these things, and
Okay. And because Thing 2 is dead, Morlin.
We have one target, murder bots.
which are
Is
climbing all
anybody-
over me.
Are you
Target of
wounded in any
opportunity,
fashion?
Hobby. What's that?
I am not.
Is anyone wounded?
Big text.
I'm
Yeah.
17 down.
Okay. Let me bring up Owlbear Rodeo.
Chadwick is down to 12 hit points.
How?
Where is Chadwick?
Because the last time Millie played was
Barbara.
before your first long rest.
Well, he's not here.
Barbara.
Right.
Actually, if Chadwick is still in a bar, that could just be alcohol poisoning.
Mm.
I'm going to give Tex a little healing. Exactly 17.
Oh, sweet.
Thank you.
Cure wounds, second level.
You hear
I
the
move-
Autobot transform sound.
Yes.
Roll
and
out.
that's about it for me. I'm not worried about the murder bots. So,
No, the one rolling is Hobby.
oh well, okay.
Yeah.
Is Hobby injured?
Not yet.
I like that, but so
There have been
okay.
attempts.
There have been
All right.
attempts.
Then healing Tex
Attempts
was a
have
good
been
thing.
made. Yes.
So yeah, I'm done. I moved. I healed. I'm cool. I'm still concentrating on Bless.
Okay. Stonebrook,
We love you.
would you like to try to engage the murder bots, or would you like to search Thing 2's corpse for lucky treasure and or skull caps?
Well, I was wondering that Thing 2 had pulled a lever to make these things come out. Just kind of looking around, look like there could be potentially any more of them coming out, or?
No, this appears to be all the ones that are mobile.
Okay.
All the ones that are mobile are currently playing with the cat.
Okay, just making sure. Then Stone would like to leap and dive and attempt to just like body splash onto any remaining bugs or auto whatever bots and crush them.
Okay.
So I guess that would probably be an unarmed strike, I would believe.
It can be an armed strike. So to add flavor to this, they are mobile in a variety of ways. Most of them are crawling, but a few of them, as Hobby shakes them off, seem to like have little bits of silicon that sort of flap quickly. So they're half gliding, half flying to get themselves back to Hobby.
Okay.
So there is a cloud, and you most definitely are allowed to attempt to engage the cloud.
Yeah, he's gonna like try to just like think like wrestling going from the top ropes, like through the cloud.
I'm not going to get to cast the Burning Hands, am I?
Thank you. No,
You can
not until I
definitely
get out
cast
of there.
it if you want to. I mean, Stonebrook and Hobby both have full hit points.
11 to hit.
And 11 will miss. You look very dramatic in the process. One could even say that for flavor, you actually climb your way up Tex, being a very tall robot.
I considered that.
So Tex is in fact the top ropes.
Actually, you know what? That sounds even. I should have thought of that. I'll remember that for next time.
Yeah, do a flying otter leap, soar through the air, and the flying murder bots just sort of move out of the way. There is an otter-shaped silhouette that you pass through when you land right here.
I have to remember all these combo moves for later.
I appreciate that. I'm getting the personal inspiration, not game mechanic inspiration, but just that I'm able to think these things up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're me and Tex are coming out with combo moves. So
it's every now and then I get these moments where I don't need to sit down and go, now what would happen? The situation just comes to me. Previously, when this happened the most was when something like a player says, okay, my character needs a deity. And then without thinking about it, I just give you a name and a backstory for your new god.
3D printed a god right there in your head.
2 occasions in particular, technically 3, spring to mind. One of whom was Joa. But never mind about that.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Terry-ish is not the third, because Terry-ish is not my creation. Anyway, it is now time for the murder bots to attempt a murder.
We're rolling at Bane.
Okay, what's
Yep,
the number?
they
I
have.
got? Well, no, I am not rolling for Bane.
You
I'm
are
not.
rolling for Bane. You have to roll for
No,
Bane.
no, I'm not. I'm not, because I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, so
Now you
they got a
subtract a number from that.
0 or less. They got a
They
0
hurt
to
themselves in the
-3.
An insta-fail is an insta-fail, no matter what.
Obviously,
Okay.
moving out of the way made it so that they could not attack effectively.
Okay, everyone in the room hears an audible. The murder bots are still there, but there is a glittering dust that flies out in the area around Hobby.
Eep.
It expands for 10 feet. Let's see if I can.
In each
mark it
direction or
properly.
total?
That
Someone
is a
let the magic
square.
smoke out.
Yeah, I am tempted to say it's blue. Actually, heck with it. It's blue.
Oh, crud, oh, crud, oh, crud, oh, crud, oh, crud.
Okay, so the square, when you click and drag, it starts with the corner and moves out. The circle, you click in the center of where you want the circle to be and drag out.
For radius.
That's-
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I expect the shapes to all have the same physics, and they don't.
Yes. Yeah,
That's annoying.
that's the problem.
Okay, so it looks like Stonebrook and Hobby are getting hit by this. Give
Hold my breath.
me
Hold my breath.
a dexterity saving throw, DC 13. I am asking the 2 rogues in the party to give me dexterity saving throws.
22.
13.
Congratulations,
hate me.
you both succeed. One of you by the skin of your feline teeth.
To be fair, you were also asking the cleric to make wisdom saves.
Yeah.
I am aware. I also asked Stonebrook to make a wisdom save, but never mind about that. My cat is like, how dare you attack the cat person with blue dust and not me? And he is currently attacking my arm, as is tradition in these recordings, apparently.
That's right. Get the GM. Get the DM.
No, don't get the DM. The DM is trying to finish combat.
Oh, right.
Cavil,
Yes.
there is a dissipating cloud of blue smoke that is containing your friend and or murder partner. I don't really know how you feel about Stonebrook.
I'm a sibling.
I feel much better about Stonebrook now that Stonebrook is not wearing a kobold skull as a hat. Also, prestidigitation can make a puff of wind. I am going to mildly panic and try to prestidigitate to get the smoke away.
Okay. There is now a sort of blue mist that doesn't seem to be thick enough to be a problem flying past Morlin and Tex. It has spread out enough that, I mean, it's Murderbot dust. Don't breathe that. Hello?
Hello? Is it gone? Is it gone? Is it gone?
Well, the swarm bots are still there, but they released a blue smoke temporarily.
Oh, I still have a
Yes, sir.
bonus action?
Mm-hmm. By the way, I love that the minion for Thing 2 is causing more of an issue than Thing 2 did.
It's harder
Who
to hit.
is injured?
Hopefully nobody now. I
I'm not
healed
sure
Tex.
anybody is at this point.
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone is.
No
I
one.
healed Tex last round, so
I
for
can-
all that he needed.
It takes a while to see
She-
hit points get updated, but looking at this right now, everyone's at max except for Chadrick, and that's Chadrick's fault. They're also out of range.
Very.
You could attempt to heal the murder bots, but I don't think you will.
No, I don't think I will.
At least not intentionally.
In that case, since I'm out of bardic inspirations, do the murder bots look damaged?
Oh, there are a significant number of broken murder bots around Hobby. Hobby has done 10 points of damage, and it's a swarm, so that implies a lot of them are dead. Individually, they don't seem to be very strong. It's just that there's a bunch of them, and they're hard to hit because they're tiny.
Oh wait, I can't cast Hex on them. I have Bane up. So, no bonus actions. I'm just going to sidle along over here to line up a clearer shot.
Okay. Tex, would you like to smash them with a hammer before or after putting them in a box?
After.
Are they in a position where I can smash them with a hammer without hitting Hobby?
Oh, there are some that Hobby like knocks off and they fly around to come back onto Hobby, so you could aim for some of the airborne ones, sure.
I like the GIF.
Oh. Whoosh. Just don't hit Hobby. Do not splat the cat.
And we don't have disadvantage anymore.
Nope. You can think clearly now. The static is gone.
And your bless is still up.
I can think clearly now. The static's... No, I can't make that scan.
And I will resist the urge to, in post-processing when I'm editing this episode, put actual static in there.
Ooh, probably good idea.
Yeah, I'm just going to invert my hammer and bring it straight down on the ground.
Okay. The ground dodges.
Tricky.
You are suddenly flying.
Apparently so. I think even a 12 won't hit.
A 12 will miss, unfortunately. Okay. And combat goes really fast when we're missing 2 players and most of your opponents are dead. Hobby, it's your turn.
Hobby is going to smack a few more of these things with the claws. And I don't have to roll at disadvantage anymore. Do I
Nope.
still have a bless or anything on me? An inspiration, or did I burn that? Bardic inspiration.
I didn't bless you. I don't know if you used your bardic inspiration
Right.
earlier.
I think you used your Bardic Inspiration previously, but that's a 20.
Yeah, okay. So it is. Okay.
A dirty 20, but that's a 20.
Oh, well. There's
Okay,
another
then.
3 of those things down. And then I'm using disengage to roll away.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check.
Dexterity check to see if I actually managed to do this. Okay, dexterity check, not dexterity roll. Oh, no,
Well,
dexterity
that'd be the
save,
same.
rather.
Dexterity check.
Yeah.
You're not trying to
Okay,
avoid
so
damage.
So I click the dexterity button, right?
Yes.
Okay. So move to where you want to be.
I want to be about here.
You want to be under the sea in an octopus's garden
Hmm?
in the shade.
No.
Never mind.
I want to be out of Cavil's line of fire.
Okay, so they come along with you for half of it, but apparently A properly motivated cat can move faster than a swarm of tiny machinery, so they aren't able to keep up. They rolled just under your roll.
Ooh,
Next up,
hissing and slapping.
next up is thing 2. They continue to leak on the floor.
That's why I didn't move too far that direction.
Morlin, you have line of sight.
Yay. We're going to try Sacred Flame, just because it'll be fun to do. And hopefully that will do some damage. They must make a DC 13 dexterity save.
That's
Hopefully
an
they
8.
used it up already.
What?
Yes!
That is an 8.
That is a failure. So this will be radiant damage. 6 radiant damage to the murder bots.
How do you want to do this?
Ooh. Let's incinerate them all in holy fire.
Okay.
They'll pop like little fireworks.
Now, you definitely waited until Hobby wasn't in the swarm to do that, right?
Of course,
That
of
was
course.
the plan. You
That
waited for
was the
Hobby to be
plan.
outside the swarm.
Yes. That was my intention.
Yes, it's
And
not
I'm
that
glad-
Hobby was running so fast that Hobby was out of the swarm by the time you finished the cantrip.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. It's okay, everyone. It was on stun. It was on stun.
I meant to
There's
do
always
that.
on stud.
Okay. One of the machines starts to play the Final Fantasy victory music. And there's no more swarm bots or thing 2 that you can see. You are now alone in a room full of machinery and fluids that are not yours.
You.
Good
Well,
thing to actually disintegrate.
Thing 2 did not actually disintegrate, but I just removed the corpse from play.
Oh, okay. There's still a corpse there.
There is still a corpse there. They're all in one piece, just the pieces are slightly more compact than they were in life.
Hobby can find a not particularly completely damaged, terrible murder bot. She would like to get a small box out of one of her pouches because I figure she has some sample kit kind of things. Put it in, seal the box real hard, and put it in a pocket because after all, Cavil's patron might like it.
That's
Okay.
lovely because I was just about to say when you were done saying whatever you were doing that I wanted to get a sample of that weird blood.
I'd like to spend about an hour casually looking at the machines.
Speaking of an hour, we've been playing for just over an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
And a
good
short
idea.
rest.
I think the Warlock will approve.
I would definitely approve. I
Okay,
have used both my packed slots.
All right, I'm going to pause the recording and we can go do things.
Does that include taking the short rest button?
Go ahead and press the short rest button if you wish.
Yeah, I'll recover all my spells. Oh, wait.
Wrong button.
You haven't had enough bacon for that. I am pressing the button now.
Dungeons and Dragons, fun as it can be.
I only got
concerned.
the last part of that song, but it was glorious. I have unpaused. Combat is over, but you're still in the same room filled with machinery, none of which is moving. Well, there's still some blinking lights and stuff that are in here. There's some machinery that's like humming softly. There's one bit of machinery that's it doesn't hum, but it's kind of whistling, but it can't carry a tune. Oh, wait, that's a teapot.
Maybe we better take it off the heat and turn the heat off before something blows up.
It's one of those kettles
Hey.
that has the heat element built into it.
You can't move it. It's
Better
from
unplug
Utah.
There's a teapot in here?
Well, that was your first thought, but after you realize nothing in here makes sense, other than the fact that there were things in here that wanted to kill us, and even that was a little confusing, you're not entirely sure it's a teapot.
I want to make an investigation check.
It contains a tempest.
Oh,
This is not true.
it must be a teapot then. And everyone knows.
17.
Okay, so what's your Arcana bonus?
The same as my investigation bonus, +5.
Okay. I did want it to be an investigation check, but Arcana skill does sort of link into this. So it's not a teapot. You don't know what it is, but that's not tea inside of it. So yeah, don't drink that. It seems to be integrated in the rest of the stuff over here, which this doesn't have much of a... Well, actually, no, it's getting a feed from over at this box here. So if I take a look at this, and no, that doesn't make any sense unless something was coming from over... Oh, yeah, something is coming from this circle over here, and That's okay. Everything here looks like it's cobbled together with secondhand parts. None of this is original factory issue. This is all DIY. But you're fairly certain that the main purpose of the majority of the stuff in here that wasn't actively trying to kill you is some sort of teleportation machine. And not to somewhere else here. It's interdimensional.
We've found a summoning device, or an unsummoning device, or both.
With your roll of 17, you're more certain it's the other one, but maybe it could be two-way. You don't know. And
which other one?
Well, summoning or unsummoning, it's more likely to send someone or something away rather than bringing it here.
Okay.
Also with a roll of 17, you have a suspicion that you personally would not volunteer to test it.
We found an unsummoning device.
No.
So definitely don't drink that.
I'm going to investigate the door.
The door appears to have a panel next to it that has not been hit by a hammer.
I will take the earlier example and put my hand on the panel.
Yet.
The door slides open, and you see another door 5 feet away.
Does that door have a panel?
It does.
We might want to check that room for a trap. Oh.
You're late?
Or not.
You put your hand on the panel, spikes stick out of one side of one wall, and the two walls start to move close to each other. That's not true. That doesn't happen.
Oh, good.
At least not the room that
concerned.
Tex is in. It's the room everyone else is in. Tex is going to be safe. Good
Figures.
news, everyone. I'm going to survive.
Glad to hear it.
Some of you may die.
But I'm
That's such a
okay with
wonderful
that.
But that is a price I am willing to pay.
Some of you may be pushed through a fine mesh screen for your country.
Your noble
dear.
sacrifice will not be forgotten.
Yes.
And those will be the luckiest of all.
Your noble sacrifice will not be forgotten, whoever you are. Okay. I get to read
so-
a thing. All right. So,
Is that like thing one?
Not
no.
a thing.
Actually, it's multiple things. We call them words. Well, kind of, sort of. So, a 30-foot wide tube-like hall lit by dim violet light extends as far as the eye can see, both north and south. Actually, swap that, east and west, because this is a different map. East and west. Here and there,
You turn the
along
map
the
on
wall
side.
to the north, and you're on the north side of this tunnel that I'm talking about. Perfectly square tunnels, similar to the one that you are passing through right now, about 5 feet on a side, lead to the north. No such tunnels are visible on the far side of this long tunnel to the south.
Hobby? I may regret saying this, but I think those square tunnels are exactly hobby-sized.
Well, you just went
what we do-
a tunnel that looks exactly like the ones that are spread out.
What we do is we tie a string to Hobby's tail, and then we tie the end of the coax to the string.
What's the highest passive perception?
Mine's 13.
14.
Mine's 14.
Mine is
14.
15. I have 15.
Okay, Morlin, you hear a rumbling.
I hear something moving.
Which direction?
It's either getting louder or getting closer.
Either is
Go
bad.
back in, go back in, go back in. It might be a train. I don't know why there'd be a train down here, but I don't want to find out.
You know, that's fair.
Text remains, thinking it might be funny. No. I'm just watching everyone move their icons back and back and back, and Texas is like right there in the middle of the tunnel. It's like, hey guys, it has a light that it's shining at us. It might be friendly.
No!
It's whistling at us.
No! That's not friendly whistling.
But also, I am going to peer around Tex.
Tex is large enough that you could all peer around Tex in a comical fashion.
Yes, Scooby-Doo style.
I don't know if
Scooby-Doo
anyone
style.
else is peering around Tex in a comical fashion, but I am. Like, braced against her and everything.
With just,
Can I
you
sort-
see your head and the tips of the fingers on both hands on one side of Tex's torso, and the rest of you is just invisible. You're not a rogue, but bards are kind of roguish. All right, so after you all run inside, the sound gets louder and louder and louder, and then there is a wall of something blocking the tunnel. Like if you hadn't all come in, you might be a smear.
So I have no idea why there's a train down here, but apparently I was right.
It's gone.
What was that?
Let's find out. I go and see if it's left any residue.
I mean, usually the trains are sort of floatier than that, but I figure we're...
Are there tracks?
There are no tracks, but give me a perception check.
Was this magical, perhaps?
Is it magical?
17.
Okay, so there's several smears of varying ages, and there's fine dust in places with some thicker portions that make you assume that the dust is powdered bone.
Oh, somebody wasn't quite fast enough.
Based on the volume, possibly multiple somebodies.
Yeah.
Over a very long period of time.
I was going to say over long periods of time.
Possibly millennia.
I mean, considering that there are undead around here, there's also a decent chance that some unintended zombies or skeletons or whatever wandered down here.
Trains.
Oh.
So how far along the corridor are these other paths?
They're irregularly spaced, so some of them are quite close to you, some of them are much further away.
And which direction did let's call it a train for now. Which direction did it come from?
Let's say it came from the east and it was going west.
Okay.
Right to left,
Yes.
as we're looking at the map.
We're about to go
Okay.
theater of the mind, but yes,
Yeah.
because I am not making a map that is an impossibly long, 30-foot wide straight tunnel.
Gotcha.
Wise.
All right. Any objection to going to the closest opening?
No, that's what I was thinking too. But
Yeah.
let's go westward.
Where the train came.
No,
I'd rather
Where
go
the
the
train
way.
went. We want to
where
go
the
the way it
train
went.
went.
Yeah. So
Yes.
this way we get at least more notice when the train is possibly, well, it might come back the other way, but who knows?
you hear a beep, 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 approaching at speed.
All right. Let's I'm tempted to do a detect magic spell here, but I don't want to wait 10 minutes of the ritual, but I also don't want to waste a spell slot either.
I
So,
can detect magic at will, remember?
oh, okay. Why don't we detect magic just to see if that train thing left any behind?
There's no magic detected in this tunnel other than stuff that the group of you have on you.
Okay.
Don't
I just want to
see
make sure.
any.
Okay. Worth a shot. All right, then let's pick a hole and go find out what's inside.
You find a room with a green
Excellent.
circle.
Oh,
What?
another one?
We must
Yes.
have a 10-minute debate.
In the original source book that I got this stuff from, there's multiple rooms with the green circles. You only found one of them in the first campaign.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it wasn't the first campaign, but
Yeah.
the previous
other
campaign where I
campaign.
used the source book.
Yeah.
And for the record, it was longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
But also funny.
Painfully longer than 10 minutes.
Oh,
DS
wait,
perspective.
is this where the original green circles came from?
Yes.
Yes.
The room that you encountered previously, like last session, was the same style room.
You know,
Hi, Millie.
for some reason, I had always thought that the green circles were a reference to that one shot we played where there was a green circle.
Dang green
involved.
circles!
Hi, Millie.
Hi, Millie.
I come in just to hear about my worst net enemy.
Oh, the party's encountered it again. They're in a room with a green circle.
You know, I was about to just jump in, pretend I was being Chadwick, and be like, "Hi guys, I got paid to walk some dogs. Where are we?"
You know what? we can totally talk about Chadwick right now if you wish.
Because the drywall dude just left, even though he was told to leave at 7.
Well, you didn't mention what time zone.
Yeah. Yes. But yes. God.
So
But yes, Chadwick just arrived with Starbucks 3 hours late and is very confused.
Oh no, it's so much worse and better than that, depending on whose perspective we're talking about. Let's talk about what you, the player, have missed.
He's also discovered the fact that his daddy's credit cards don't work in the past.
Oh yes, that's part of it. That's part of
One
it.
moment.
So there are doggies.
Ali has returned.
What? Chadwick
well-
just arrived. I don't know what you guys are doing, if it's a fight or if it's like something important, but I
You
just
missed the
somehow
fight.
arrived. I'm poor.
You missed the fight.
You missed the swarm of murder
I'm
bots.
poor. My dad's credit cards don't work in millennia in the past. Who knew?
Everyone
Very
but
sad.
Chadwick.
I ran out of party funds.
Yes, let's elaborate on that because here are the things that Chadwick encountered
So,
that
hi
Millie
guys,
did
what's
not
up?
get to encounter. Chadwick was there when the party all climbed into a cylinder that was then launched from the moon to land in a farm field outside the port city of Flotsam. That was a fun ride. Chadwick was there when Fenix
So, hi guys,
Senior,
what's up?
a dragonborn of some status, gave
That was
everyone a
almost,
wagon
unless
ride
you
in
guys
the
are
city.
actually done for the evening, that was in character.
Yes. Oh, no, you're getting a briefing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Chadwick was there when the wagon ride ended at Flag headquarters. Flag is an acronym for Flotsam Leftover Adventurers Guild. Fenix Senior does not appreciate or like in any way that acronym. He thinks it's too silly, but he was
I think
outvoted.
it's a great acronym.
Oh yeah.
We're
Remember, Fenix Senior was outvoted. Most of the founders of Flag really like the acronym. Fenix is a minority.
Is there
voice.
someone talking? Because I can't hear anyone except for EO.
I'm talking.
Crash is
Can anyone hear me?
talking. I can hear
Hi.
Crash.
Oh, that's why. When I was trying to turn up his volume earlier, it muted him.
You know, I feel like this explains what happens in some of my classes.
Oops.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, everyone's really quiet right now.
Yeah, I'm going over I'm going over all the backstory you've missed in abbreviated form.
Oh, I heard none of it. None of it.
Rocket from the moon, landed in a field.
Okay.
Flotsam Leftover Adventurers Guild, abbreviated Flag. Fenix Senior doesn't like it, everybody else does, so he got outvoted. That's what you've missed.
Yes. And you were also given a flagstone. A flagstone is a sending stone. If you're attuned to it and you're holding on to it, you can use it to send a group chat to everyone in the party. It doesn't have a range.
Assume that if I had one, I've been sending bad memes.
That tracks. That actually tracks.
That
That
tracks
would
so
explain
much.
some of the low rolls.
It would.
And then you had a long rest. Well, everyone else had a long rest. But
I had a very long rest.
well, here's the thing. It was getting later in the day, and Chadwick, if Chadwick knew anything about Flotsam, having never been there before, it was that Chadwick heard it's a port city. Port cities mean sailors who just got paid lots of money and they want to celebrate. Sailors who have lots of money and want to celebrate mean bars.
Yup. I bar hopped through all of my daddy's money.
Well, you tried.
No.
But remember, that piece of plastic that you have doesn't resemble anything that anyone on this planet calls currency.
Yeah, and I can't even say my daddy will pay them back because no one's heard of my daddy.
Now, the good news is that you made a lot of friends because you're that kind of paladin.
Well, duh, I'm a defense paladin. I always save the party.
Yes. Before now, the noun keg stand did not exist in the same definition that you have introduced to the city of Flotsam, to the detriment of any advocate for sobriety.
Some people have started calling it the Cheg stand because it's the Chadrick.
Anyway, eventually certain ships that employed certain sailors left, taking those sailors with them.
But were they singing about what to do with
A drunken paladin?
They may have been,
I'm unsure.
they may have been, and they might be going to a lot of ports spread out all throughout Circulus, who will now also learn about the Cheg stand.
Yes!
There was a dramatic pause there as the DM questioned his choices about letting you
God,
continue to-
yes!
Like, I am an advocate for
My dad's
yes
gonna be
and,
so proud of
but
me in the future.
sometimes I'm an advocate for yes and, but sometimes it's really hard to yes and. This is one of those times. But yeah, so now it's crack of I was gonna say crack of dawn, but no, you had a rough night. It's crack of noon would be a little early still. It's crack of maybe 1:30, 1:45.
Oh man.
And
Waking up with the birds.
you found your way back to the flag headquarters. It's not too hard to find. Apparently there's an area of the city that had a lot of fire damage. Like there was a whole wall of fire that ruined a whole lot of houses. And in the epicenter of this, that's where they built the headquarters.
Gosh!
Yes, it's
Ghosts
made out
of
of,
theater past.
it appears to be made out of mostly marble. And the
And
parts that
glitter?
aren't marble are also things that don't burn.
Mostly glitter. The remnants of glitter past.
Well, there's glitter everywhere because that stuff will not go away in fire.
Yeah, no, a fire will not end a glitter bomb.
It just melts it into whatever materials are there.
Gosh, so the sand is so shiny there.
Yes, but here's the thing about the flagstones, and this was explained in a previous session, but you weren't there for that.
Sorry, I moved.
Because real life always takes precedence, and that's fine. Here's the thing. They're modified not just so that you can send group chats. That part you figured out very quickly, and you've been making great use of to everyone else's detriment. But also, member services at Flag can use them to pinpoint roughly where bearers of these flagstones are. So if they need to bring someone back quickly or send someone over quickly, they can do that. And you just discovered that tab that you built up at first, you can't pay for with a card. They don't know what a card is. So you've been told that you're either going to give them some gold. The drinks didn't cost gold, but there were a lot of drinks. Like an entire keg is multiple drinks, and there was more than one keg involved. You're either going to give them some gold or they're going to take payment in limbs. You need those limbs for drinking.
Yeah, no, it's hard to do keg stands without the stands.
Yes.
I feel my legs.
So, but hey, all of your friends are off doing a quest where they get paid if they finish it. If you're
That's why I'm
finishing it
walking
too,
these
you might get
dogs.
paid. Wouldn't you like to go join them?
That's why I was walking the dogs. I picked up an easy gig.
It turns out that paid 3 copper. You need a bit more money or a lot more dogs. And 2 of the dogs that you finished walking came back intoxicated. So the dog walking gig is dried up.
It's kind of a skill of mine. Yeah, I'm starting to get down on my luck.
You
I'm
didn't
gonna have
even
to
give them
start doing
anything.
work.
It was just the fumes coming off of you.
Oh gosh, it reminds me of
Most
walking in college.
paladins-
I felt like I got drunk walking.
Most paladins have channel divinity. Chatrick has channel
The spirits of alcohol.
incivility.
Yes.
The spirits
Just
of alcohol's
channel
past.
It's channel spirits. No, not those spirits.
I'm the Ebenezer Scrooge of the alcohol.
The first time I ever heard of spirits being referred to as alcohol, I didn't know they were referring to it as alcohol, and it made the context very confusing.
So yes, man, I love to drink Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's delicious. But anyways,
I would
absolutely,
make a
I take the spirit.
reference, but no one would get it except Ellie and Beth.
And so yes, so I am channeling spirits so well that I get the dogs drunk. The owners should be grateful because their dog's chilling. But because of this unfortunate setback, I have decided I might actually have to do real work.
Okay. Well,
Glad
as luck
you're
would
here.
have it, Member Services is happy to send you to your friends.
Ugh.
Now, right now, they're referring to your friends as Cohort 15972 because no one was ever actually given a name for what your party's called. So they're just referring to you as the number on your application.
Wait, I thought we came up with a party name.
There were multiple names and there wasn't a vote.
I'm gonna call it
No.
the Chegg Stands.
No.
I have a feeling that you and Phoenix will be in the same camp, which is paladins who have been outvoted.
This is the only time they are ever going to be in the same camp.
This is going to be
Yeah, because Fennec
episode-
Senior is not going with you. He's not camping.
Gosh, no! I glamp only.
Although Fennec Senior did spend a lot of time with the kobolds, so Fennec Senior would be able to tolerate Chadrick. Like, okay,
If I
well,
have
you
to
come to
camp,
think of
I'm
it, this is
glamping, and I don't have my portable glamping kit. My bag of glamp.
usually I take a wizard with me that has like Liam's tiny hut or, you know, magnificent mansion. Those are useful.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, they send you to a room. They say, okay, stand on this circle and we'll send you right to your friends. And you have a bit of deja vu of the last time there was a circle and you failed a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
But for this particular
I fell
one,
into the circle.
there was a ledge before. You tripped on the ledge. There was no warning sign. It wasn't painted with the yellow and black warning thing. This time, there's none of that. It's all flat surface.
I
You
should
stand
sue.
on it, and then you appear in a tunnel that is 30 feet wide with the sound of rushing wind and something very large moving really fast towards you.
I should sue the people in the future. I
Also,
feel like
all
if
of your
I-
friends are over there on the other side of that doorway staring at you. Actually,
I really though I feel that if I put in the legal paperwork now, by the time we get to the future and
Come over here, I have the forms.
I'm able to collect, the interest will be phenomenal.
Come over
Okay.
here, I have the forms.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. The what?
The forms, the sue.
Oh, I heard the corpse.
No.
no, that's a corpse in a
That
different room.
too.
It's called the writ of habeas corpus. That's not the same thing.
I love this game so much. Anyway, please, Millie, tell me that Chadrick gets out of the way of the speeding train.
Oh God, you're back at that place.
No,
Oh,
you
God.
are. And
I
you're
didn't
about to
realize
turn
we're
into a
back
fine
at the
paste
place.
and bone dust.
Can I have another AOL CD?
You can have your state of physics changed if you don't get out of the way of the speeding train.
I guess I move. I don't have my
Boo's
character
over here,
sheet open.
Chadrick. Boo's over here, Chadrick.
Okay, you are.
Okay.
For the sake of plot, we will say that you are lured out of the way of sudden and irrefutable death.
Somebody
Squish.
cast prestidigitation to like make me smell alcohol and like wave it to me.
All right, so after it goes by, and we're going to say this is actually like the third or fourth time this has happened, you've been going down this tunnel for quite some time. Well, most of you have been going down this tunnel for quite some time. Chadrick just got here.
Can I have an AOL CD and a weird corpse
You
again?
have
I want
not
another.
yet found an AOL CD, but I have been keeping track of whatever things Hobby has decided to put in his pack.
Okay, what about a testy too?
No. You you weren't here for the undead, and it was killed by someone else and tossed into a green circle.
Dang it!
What is a test tube?
No,
now I
no,
have
no, 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 no,
No, this is something else entirely.
No. The testy tube was an undead dude's arm I took to use to grab things.
Oh, we don't have one of those.
Okay.
No,
what
not keep
about-
it.
Dang it! And then what about the weird electrocution arc that I avoided last time?
The party hasn't found one of those yet. You've gone into a bunch of rooms. No fewer than 3 of them had green circles. Each of those rooms
hate
you only
those
stayed in
rooms.
long enough for the train to go by, and then you left immediately again without saying anything.
That's fair. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I am very sullen at having to actually do work, so I'm just kind of bemoaning existence and shuffling behind everyone. If I'm going to be really honest.
Hey, Chadrick.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the selfies my patron keeps accidentally sending to the e-reader of shadows?
Yes.
This is canon. There was no selfie folder in the e-read of shadows in the future. But now that you've gone into the past and you are dealing with young Mo, who is not tech savvy. Young
I
Mo is still
absolutely
very
do.
old, but not thousands of years in the future old.
Mo's still around in the future?
Mo becomes Asmodeus' replacement in the future.
Oh. Okay, but does Hero live that long?
If Hero is alive, Hero is in stasis.
Hero should be alive. Hero should still be writing.
Crash.
Yes.
Did Chadrick get the benefit of the long rest?
I
You know
was
what?
spending my own long rest.
Yeah, so Chadrick, go ahead and press the long rest button because you right now are the only person who's damaged, and you got bloodied during the first session.
Oh yeah, I did because I got hit by the bathroom wall.
And
I love
ceiling?
West Cannon.
And the
Sucker
floor?
punch.
And you were blue for a little while. Ba-da-dee,
It
da-da-dee.
was fun. Da-bu-da. Yeah. Now I gotta open up my character sheet.
Yeah.
I'm on my still.
Well, it needs to be open by the next time we have combat, so we don't need to rush right now, unless you want to fight the thing that we've been calling a train, which isn't a train, but functionally, it's as deadly as if a train was on this passageway instead of whatever this thing is.
No, I'm just so I remember what I can do at random stupid moments.
That tracks, and that's valid.
Because don't forget,
How
I have
often-
weird paladin powers. Is everyone did anyone level up in the last 2 sessions?
No, when
Nope.
this arc is finished, everyone's going up to level 4.
I did the opposite of that.
Okay. Oh yeah, because I get to now. I'm gonna say that I got enough experience, worldly experience in bars that I could level up. It's with my god, the god of pardons.
How often is the train coming by?
Sometimes it's like 10 minutes. The fastest was like under a minute. You can't set your watch by it. It seems to be random.
Is it
That
always
is
going
terrible.
the same direction?
It is always going the same direction.
Great, it's teleporting.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
there's
Or
lots
there's
of
more
them.
than one.
Remember, you can feel it. It shakes the walls.
Oh yeah. Moreland and Hobby both have, I think it's more than just Moreland and Hobby. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Chadrick has a passive perception of 14.
Yeah.
Stonebrook's got 14. Moreland's got 15. I think Moreland's got
Tex
the
has
highest.
13.
Moreland on average notices it first before the rest of you notice it. But there's a
But
bunch
yeah,
of you who
I'm
notice it later.
amazingly not horrible at seeing things. I'm also somehow good at medicine.
Well, hangover cures.
Yeah, true.
Eventually, you get to a spot where it looks like there's some aftermarket adjustments to the tunnel, by which I mean there seems to be a small river running through it.
There's a river. But yes.
I'd like to creep over and take a look.
Okay.
Can I drink it?
You can attempt.
Yes, please.
It is not intoxicating.
Worst.
Do we see Brad?
Do you see what?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I hear you now.
I heard
I
you
hear
say, do we see Rit?
Okay. What I said was, do we see Brad Pitt?
You do not. You see a pit, but you could call the pit Brad if you wanted to. It wouldn't object because it's a hole in the ground, which appears to have been formed by the slow erosion of this underground stream. It's not really... To call it a river is putting on grandiose airs. It's more like a slightly wide stream. You can't jump across it, but it wouldn't be too hard to get across it. However, it leads down. If you follow it downstream, it angles downward.
Is it something that I could swim up and back?
There's parts that are deep enough you could swim in, and there's other parts where you stand up and it's just like ankle deep for you.
Is
Okay.
it tubular enough that I could slip and slide down?
There's parts, but there's also parts where you don't want to slip into them.
Okay, but what if I use my whip to anchor myself?
Then you won't be slipping.
Stone gets out of the way for the wise paladin.
The wise paladin will find all of the sharp rocks for you.
Better hope there's some armor on that paladin.
Anyone know?
You cut out, Ellie.
So I gather. That was exciting. My whole Discord crashed.
Oh no.
Oh, that's exciting.
And it looks like you left Owlbear Rodeo and came back as well. Although we're not using Owlbear Rodeo for likely the rest of the session, so that part's okay.
I'll close that.
Does anyone know light? Is what I was asking.
Well, let me see.
Yes, I do.
Can we toss it on a pebble and toss the pebble down?
Yeah, let's do that. Because we did that earlier, actually. Something similar.
Mm-hmm.
We'll cast light cantrip on the rock, and we'll let the rock take a little ride.
All right.
With
It
gravity.
goes a long way down. Now, All of this appears to be at a slope that you can walk and or swim depending on your inclinations. It's not like a waterfall.
I want to belly flop the way down.
But the nicest thing about this, other than it's water and one of you is Otterfolk, so it's already immensely better than everything you've encountered earlier,
It's wet.
there's no train that comes through the river.
We assume.
Well, if it does, then it's a rather irregular one.
So I'm going to go through unless somebody already belly flopped their way in.
I am going to try and go first and ask Stonebrook to come right behind me.
That'll work.
Well, that's the safe way to do it.
I was going to say
no.
if I could just ride Tex down.
You can ride me down if you want, because I'm going on my feet.
I was planning on doing it the fun way.
You can do it the fun way.
Behind them.
Fine. I do it the fun way behind them.
Listen, my perspective is, if there's a sudden drop-off, you want the person with the strength 18 in front.
Yes.
I mean, that's you and your logic.
And then the fun paladin crashes in behind you and knocks you all over the edge.
Yay!
I'm going last. Furthermore, it's wet.
The strength 18 and the very large anchor.
This one's wet.
I was wondering why you were carrying that ship's anchor around.
And this one is wet, and this one is wet.
And
Is
this
this
one
party
is
in a
wet,
rainforest?
and this one is wet. No, we're in a river.
I forgot. I have bad strength. I forgot about that.
If,
Your
if we've,
dexterity-based paladin?
if we've stopped falling, then Stone is going to jump off and start swimming around the water.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
let's...
Tex, give me a dexterity save.
Can it be an athletics check instead?
No, I did say save.
17 on the die.
That is like the third or fourth 17 this evening. Okay.
I know.
Fine. You are able to carefully find your way down this stream without slipping, like, at all. So, Chadrick, give me a dexterity save.
Okay.
Oh, I think I was unclear. I meant Tex was going to slide down on her feet. Like, do the action hero.
Well, give me another dexterity save, Tex, because Chadrick rolled a 3. So Chadrick has become a projectile.
I think a 7's not going to beat it.
Chadrick and I'm assuming that the rest of the party was going after Chadrick because you all saw what Chadrick was doing and were like,
Yeah.
no, you totally go before us. That's fine, all yours. So Chadrick and Stonebrook are now riding the bobsled known as Tex down one of those water park rides.
Yay!
I am 100% here for this because Tex picking her way carefully down the slippery slope, getting to the bottom, and just sort of standing there satisfied with her hands on her hips, and then Chad colliding into her back.
Ready to dodge.
Funniest thing I can think of right now.
Well, when
Hands!
for the record, when you asked if instead of a dexterity save, you could make an acrobatics check, my mental math said, no, the save is funnier.
Fair enough. Also, it was athletics because I'm good at athletics.
Well, no, that's strength-based, so heck no. And did I see a 3 for Morlin?
Yep.
So you don't have a bobsled.
Tobogganing!
You are the bobsled.
Somehow I've gotten
Yet.
turned around and I'm going like head first.
Yay!
You
That's what I was doing. So now I'm like piggybacking.
be the bobsled you wanted to have in this world, but don't have.
Just be.
This is the worst water slide.
Yay!
For a brief moment, you say, oh, there's the pedal, and then it's gone. And, I would be remiss if I didn't require dexterity saves for Cavil and Hobby as well.
I did.
Oh dear.
I'm going to say for Hobby, roll at advantage because you are trying to be extra careful because wet.
Yes,
I
okay.
assume
get rolling.
Stonebrook is just sitting there on Tex's back.
Yep.
Like he always has been.
Yep.
This is your home now. You
Yep.
live here.
I live here.
What's wrong with the water?
It's wet.
I saw a 16 for Hobby and a 21 for Cavil and Hobby, that wonderful dynamic duo, carefully make their way down, and a half hour later, you get to the pond that everyone else took a dip in.
Well, it's not acid, at least. Have you found any water monsters?
Tex kind of looked like a
Activate
water monster when
drying
coming out the
fan.
other side like a Terminator.
What did she say?
I said activate drying fan. Like that scene from Back to the Future 2.
You see, I went in a very different direction. Instead of just having like air come out of everything and dry you out, it was a little USB fan popped out of a side compartment and pointed at you.
Also funnier. Except I didn't say go gadget fan.
True.
But what if you did?
Is that going to be my catchphrase from now on? Go gadget,
gadget.
whatever.
Maybe?
Only if you want it to be. And I get to read another thing, but I need to find the right page.
Congratulations, guys. We've skipped an entire section of the adventure.
Well,
That's one way to go off the rails.
keep in mind, this is not you replaying an adventure that I did in another campaign. This is you revisiting an area that was in another campaign. So I'm trying to make sure I haven't changed the continuity for it. But a lot of the rooms that are described in here, I am not subjecting you to, because this is a different campaign. And you also went in through the back way. Let's see. That's a room just called Defunct. I am not reading that room. Circle.
Yeah,
That means
there's
kind of
no
cool.
point in there's no point in reading the description for a room that's had all the funk taken out of it.
I mean, really, what's the point?
Has it
Ooh.
had all of the funk taken out of it, or has it had all of the fun taken out of it?
I was
Yes.
thinking about the music, the soul of music.
Oh, that kind of funk. I was wondering if the room was depressed and isn't anymore.
I mean, it probably is now that there's no funk.
So the lack of funk has put it in a funk.
But it doesn't have
Yes,
soul.
and you know what? It probably has a bit of a funky smell.
You know, if I never get to read this description, I'm still going to be okay with it.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No. I did say I'm still going to be okay with it. A shaft of sunlight shines from impenetrable darkness far overhead. A miles-wide subterranean grotto is revealed in the dim light radiating from the shaft, and by discrete glows and fire-bright flares from features within the cavern itself. The floor is tiled with pale, 1-foot cubes, forming a slightly uneven surface. Groves of geometric shapes, more cubes, but also pyramids, octahedrons, dodecahedrons, and many shapes with far more faces, stand on a single point. Each is a different color, and a handful glow, or even shine brightly. Along the edges of this vast grotto, the geometric groves are only about shrub high, but larger specimens are visible near the center, standing as tall as trees. Several more miles inward, a few seem as tall as mountains. An amber glow leaks around the edges of those most distant, massive shapes, as do the faintest strains of a barely audible series of tones, like a song you've never heard. So this river that ends in a pond here does have the water flowing, creating, well, a path so far as otters are concerned, heading towards this distant grotto.
Swim forward towards it.
Who's the sunny beam of light who's a sex machine through all the night?
Can I use my whip to make like a rope to Mr. Otterman and follow him like a raft?
You are attempting to put a leash on the otterfolk.
He turns
Yes.
and growls.
So I
The
can ride
otterfolk who is
behind him
currently
like a whitewater,
responsible
like
for
a
50%
raft.
of death
He has
in this party.
He has bowed up and turned around like, "Don't you dare try to put a leash on me."
I just don't want to get lost. I can like put it on your tail.
No.
Oh, fine.
Chadrick, I am the theme park ride here.
Okay, and then I get comfy. Tex.
I want to cherish this moment of Chadrick climbing up Tex to ride piggyback.
Yay!
As
How
the
big are
Outer Folk
the-
murder hobo swims off towards the beam of light and the large collection of dice that somebody has spilled onto the map.
How big are they, the dice?
The ones closer to you are maybe waist high to you, but they seem to get larger the further away from here you get.
I also
Cannot
Are they
pick
magic?
these up.
no. You guys are actually saying important things. I'm about to say something stupid again.
Are they magic?
Depends on your definition of magic, but that's
By the definition of magic in my,
Dissecting?
yeah.
so. Here's the thing: this is
We started.
something that gets debated even thousands of years in the future. Your home timeline for how advanced does technology have to be before it is truly indistinguishable from magic? But your best guess with your detect magic spell and your experience of being thousands of years in the future, well, being from there, is from when, whatever, is that whatever built this grotto found a way to cross that threshold.
They did so on rock and roll.
More like
Can I
splish and
mind
splash, it
with
seems
it?
like.
Can I mind link with it?
You better not, because
That
the
wasn't
DM
a
knows
no.
what the DM will have to do if you actually manage that.
I can do it to anything that is, let's see. I can mind link with pretty much anything.
Does it have to be sentient?
They must be able to see me and be within this trait's range.
What's the range?
Me seeing it. It doesn't
It has
say.
to be able to see him.
It
has to
doesn't.
be-
I don't know. It doesn't have to be looking at me. I have to be able to look at it.
Oh no.
Oh wait. Okay. Wait. 30 feet.
You are not able to mind link with anything that isn't a party member.
Okay.
And you already have a flagstone that lets you talk into all of their minds at the same time.
Oh man, do you know how many times "I'm Blue Babadita Dudai" has been in their heads?
I imagine that was the soundtrack on the way down.
Most of it. Let's see. And I doubt divine sense is going to help.
That lets you detect.
Good or
Celestial
evil,
Stay and the
anything, and anything that's hallowed or yeah.
It's competing with the hamster dance song.
It's kind of like
I
if
feel
you're,
mildly nervous about the divine sense.
Maybe you should see if it's hallowed.
there's nothing hallowed.
If the Ogmanites were down here, they might have done that.
What if it's hollowed? Like it's empty.
So here's the thing.
Then Hobby's going to try and fit inside it.
Rough guess. You can see for about 5 miles here that you have to travel at least. You can't really see much beyond the 5 miles except there's something with an amber glow beyond that.
Gotcha. Can I rebuke it?
You may attempt it, but it will not have an effect. Just like
Because I
just
think,
like casting Bane on the random machinery earlier.
I think that it is causing harm to my sense of aesthetic.
Okay,
and
well,
therefore-
with that growing sense of horror and perhaps a little bit of ennui, just because ennui is fun to say, that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
Well,
As we record
I
for
like
just over
this
2 hours.
aesthetic.
Well, I'm going to rebuke the violet. It hurts my eyes.
Are you saying that the warlock has a different aesthetic from the paladin?
Uh-huh.
Shocking.
The thing is,
Shocking.
probably not as much as you think.
My
it's
sense
shocking
of
because
aesthetic is not hungover.
yeah, it's shocking
that-
because it's not entirely for reasons of divinity versus damnation.
No, I'm I'm easily times worst paladin.
In my head canon, Chadwick had to have it explained to him more than once before he realized that he was, in fact, a paladin. That was the school he joined. It wasn't a party din. In any case, thank you
He's
everyone
a
for listening.
paladin.
Stuff.
Oh yes, he's a friend to all. If you have a keg,
Or the means with which to purchase one.
that too.
I still have to decide what my god's name is.
If you're an
Do you
Oath of Glory
know
paladin.
that?
Oh wait, no, you're not Oath of Glory. You're a Redemption Paladin. But anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Thank you everyone for playing. My name is Crash, and I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, Matt, Tom, And appearing right at the end to clinch the landing, Chadrick. Millie.
Millie.
One of those. Both of those. Does anyone have some things they wish to plug?
Oh.
That's what Brown Bear sees.
Hero to all.
Eo's mom writes books. Elizabeth-McCoy.com. Or you can just go to like any reputable ebook dealer or even ask your library to get my ebooks in because they're on overdrive.
Ow.
For cheap too for a library.
Doesn't someone else
Cover
write
price
books?
or lower. Yeah, who else writes books?
Yes, somebody else here writes books.
Oh, that would be me on mute. Yeah, I also write books, and you can find me on Twitter at Bolthra, Bolthra, for all the fun stuff.
And speaking of social media networks,
Oh yeah, I run Alec.xyz. It's a decentralized social media. I am the Lord Omnipotent Ruler. I know that was really convincing with my inability to say omnipotent, but
You can do anything except that.
It's okay, it's not a voice chat social media.
yeah, true. And in my defense, I have just finished working a full-time job, literally talking all day.
As a
Ew.
teacher,
That's
I understand.
that's ELEKK.xyz.
That is correct.
You know, it's a fun job. I sell candy now for a living.
Yay!
Candy.
And speaking of Patreons,
But we weren't
Yes?
speaking about... oh,
and
that was
speaking of
my
Patreons,
Oh, yes. Why, yes, thank you for that wonderful segue that I did not ruin. We have a Patreon.
Crash is a Warlock patron?
Cogwheel Gaming.
Yes.
Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Mickey, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying...
a keg is multiple drinks.
Check Sam. Check Sam.
That is funnier than anything I was going to say, so that's where we're going to end. Good night, everybody.